Hello students, Vandana Bagal here. Today we are going to discuss the topic making decision from the subject Management Information System. The objective of today's lecture is a fundamental understanding of the term decision, an understanding of each element of the decision situation, an ability to use the decision making process. And finally, the last objective is we are going to discuss program and non-program decisions. Let us discuss the nature of decision making. For an organization to be successful, the decision making is one of the key important factors. A managerial level or the top management is involved in the decision making, and if the decision is correct, then no doubt there is success for that particular organization. But if the decision is not correct, if the decision is not appropriate, or we may call it as if the decision is bad decision, in that case, recognizing the decision is bad decision is also equally important, because if once the managerial or the top management level has recognized the decision is bad, then they can take the corrective action so that the organization will get the success. So the nature of decision making is making effective decisions, as well as recognizing when a bad decision has been made, and quickly responding to mistakes is a key ingredient in organizational effectiveness. Some experts also believe that decision making is the most basic and fundamental of all managerial activities. As we know that manager is also one of the key important factor of any organization, because he is actually involved in the planning, organizing, coordinating and controlling all the processes and activities of the organization. So here we have discussed that planning is the first phase of the function of the manager. So decision making is the most basic and fundamental task of all the managerial activities. Decision making is most closely linked with the planning function, because for the to carry out the processes or the functions or the activities of any organization, the first step is planning. If the planning is perfect, then definitely the goal or the objective is going to be achieved. So in the planning, most of the decisions are taken care. However, it is also part of organizing, leading and controlling, because in this levels, organizing, leading and controlling, the actually plans are going to be worked out. So while implementation of planning, where decision was already made, the runtime decisions are also needed to be taken. So decision is also part of organizing, leading and controlling. Now let us understand what is exactly decision making. In this picture we can see a small kid. In front of him there are number of cars with different colors, with different shapes and with different utility. And the boy has to decide which car is more useful for him or which car he likes the most. That means a small kid is also going to take the decision to choose his favorite car. So decision making is the act of choosing one alternative from among a set of alternatives. In front of this boy, there are set of alternatives For example, cars with different shapes, colors and utility. And among these different alternatives, boy has to select one alternative. So this particular act is called as decision making. We have to first decide that a decision has to be made, and then secondly identify a set of feasible alternatives before we select one. Now, decision-making process includes recognizing and defining the nature of a decision situation. So before taking the decision, we have to define, we have to identify what is the decision situation. Based on the decision situation, the particular alternative is going to be selected. Then the second step is based on the situation, what are the different alternatives available. So the second step is identifying alternatives. Among the set of available alternatives, we have to choose the best one. So the third one is choosing the best alternative. Once we have chosen the best alternative from among the available alternatives, the last step is putting it into practice. That is the implementation phase of our decision. After that, we are going to know whether our decision is correct or it is a bad decision. Sometimes effective decision must be made to optimize. We want to optimize the profit. We want to optimize the success of the organization. There might be any of the case, any of the situation. Accordingly, we have to take the effective decision for optimize some set of factors such as profits. We want to optimize the profit. We want to optimize the sales. We want to optimize the employee welfare, market share. So sometimes we want the optimized result. There is no doubt that our decision may be correct or it may be a bad decision. But if it is a bad decision, in that case also the manager's interest is it should not be a purely bad decision. If the manager or the organization must get the optimized result with that particular decision alternative selected. The second is minimize. We want to minimize the losses so that organization will be in the profit. We want to minimize the expenses so that organization will be in the profit or employee turnover. Select best method for going out for business, laying off employees or terminating a strategic alliance. Managers make decision about both program, which we may call undesirable situations, both problems, which is undesirable situation. We don't know whether this problem will occur or not. But if the problem is occurred, then we have to take some decisions so that the solution for that problem may be identified. And sometimes problem is not there. But in order to grow the business, in order to be in with the technology, with the current market scenario, we have to grab the opportunity that we call the desirable situation. So the managers have to take the decision in both the situation. If there is a problem which we call undesirable situation, or if there is a no problem but opportunity is there for the growth of the organization. In both the cases, manager have to take the decision. It may take a long time before a manager can know for sure if the right decision was made. Now, let us understand what are the different types of decisions. Programmed decisions or non-programmed decisions. Just like we are doing computer programming, suppose you have written a computer program for arithmetic operation and you have executed that program according to the input given to your program, according to the particular operation that you have selected, your program gives the result. That means, according to the input by the end user, your program is already set how to behave for this particular input. Such situation we called as a program decision, where we already know how to tackle with the problem, how to solve the problem. Such kind of decision making is called as program decision. And non-programmed decision means for that particular problem, we have not defined any specific method that if we follow this particular method, then definitely solution is going to be achieved. Such specific method or description is not available. Problem is occurred spontaneously and runtime. Then also we have to take the decision. It is called as non-programmed decisions. Let us discuss in more detail. Program decision means one that would be made if a particular situation occurs and a routine procedure or policy has been established to handle it. That means if the problem is occurred, how that problem should be handled, how the solution to be found out, for that already predefined procedure is available with us. It is called as program decisions. So we may call it is a repetitive and routine task of organization. A large number of daily operations will need program decisions, although they should be made with care and concern about effectiveness, because in turn it is related with the goal of the organization, profit of the organization and success of the organization. So they should be made effectively, efficiently, without needlessly tying up organizational resources. Now, non-programmed decisions. That means no pre-existing structure or decision-making procedure in place. That means no predefined procedure is available how to handle that problem. Have significant implication for the future of the organization and must be made only after careful analysis, as there is no well documented or predefined procedure is available to handle this particular problem. So this problem is new to the organization. So while taking decision, while finding out the solution for such kind of problem, the decision must be taken after careful analysis, because this problem is new to the organization. Now, let us differentiate program decisions and non-program decisions. Program decisions are routine and repetitive. Non-program decisions are typically one short decisions that are usually less structured than program. Program decisions requires less time to take the decision to find out the solution, whereas non-program decisions are unlike program decisions. These are most long-term decisions. So these are the two types of decision. Program decisions is one that is fairly structured or recurs with some frequency. A non-program decision is one that is unstructured and occurs much less often than a program decision. These are the decision types in organization structure. In the left hand side, we are seeing the one triangle which shows the organizational hierarchy. We already know there are highest level, middle level and lowest level. At the highest level, there is a top management and directors of the organization. In the middle level, we can say the managerial level, managers are there, and at the lowest level, workers are there who are actually involved in the production or implementation of the planning phase. Now, nature of problem. As we have discussed, problem is either structured or unstructured. Structured means we already have the predefined procedure how to tackle with that problem. So, this such kind of problem can be easily handled by the lowest level people because they already have a well documented solution for that particular problem. So, the structured decisions may be taken by the lowest level. Whereas, if the problem's nature is unstructured, that means predefined procedure, well documented solution is not available, in that case, the decision is taken by the highest level. And one more point, we should remember that for such kind of decision, careful analysis before the decision should be there. The nature of decision making is programmed decision and non-programmed decisions. Now, let us discuss program and non-programmed decision based on the various characteristics. Programmed decision type of problem is structured, or non-programmed decisions type of problem is unstructured. Who will handle the programmed decisions? At the lower level for the programmed decision and upper level for the non-programmed decisions. Frequency of the programmed decision is repetitive and frequency of non-programmed decision is unusual. Information for the programmed decision is readily available. Information for the non-programmed decision is ambiguous or incomplete. Time frame for solution for the programmed decision is short, whereas time frame required for the non-programmed decision is relatively long because data collection is required. Then analysis of the data is required, and based on that analysis, top management will take the decision, then it will pass on to the managerial level and then it is passed on to the lower level. So, the time frame for the solution is long. If the solution relies for the program decision on procedures, rules and policies, and solution relies on for non-program decision is based on the judgment, based on the creativity, based on the intelligence or experience of the top management. Thank you, students.